Yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy Devour Spaiidz here. We're back again with another video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to be covering the top 10 best landing spots for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3. This is going to be for arena, for normal pubs, for solos, duos, trios, and squads. And if you guys enjoy this video, let us know the like goal of 1,000 fucking likes, guys. Let's get it. Come on, 1,000 likes, guys. Let's get it on this video right now. Also, don't forget to check out the team socials in the description down below. Alright, guys, now moving on to drop spot number 1, we have Frenzy Farm. Now, Frenzy Farm has always been a good spot to land, whether you're a solo, duo, or a trio. But hey, you know, it may be contested a lot, but the loot here is unbelievable. And especially in Season 3 now, the rotations are just unbelievable as well. Lots of boats, lots of fishing rods. You can easily fish a shark out and rotate to the next zone. Again, a great landing spot. I'll display the loot drops right now. And yeah, as you can see, just a great spot to land overall. Now moving on to the second drop spot, we have ourselves the Authority. Now the Authority is basically the same exact thing as Agency, just blacked out, and it's a lot darker. You know, there's a barrier now. You know, some aspects of it are different, like the roof, and there's extra rooms. But everything that was at the Agency is generally in the same exact spot. So if you see in a bit, I'll show you the safe is in the same spot, the loot drops are in the same spots, and you know, it's basically the same as Agency. You can still get the drum gun, you can still get the grappler. But yeah, same thing. Is highly contested, but it's in the middle of the map, so the storm won't chase you that early on. And you know, plenty of rotation, plenty of loot. And yeah, now moving on to the third drop spot, we have this little house or like hut or like station on the mountain near Catty Corner. It's really good for rotation, everything. You know, this is a really good solo drop. Lots of loot for one person. You know, there is a chopper also, so you can go fly away and rotate. You know, now that choppers are in arena. And you know, if you want to get a little bit of picks and maybe even better loot, you can always rotate downhill, go straight to Catty Corner. It's right next to it. You can pick off any little last kills, get the loot, get the safe if no one opened it yet. And yeah, just an overall great loot path and good spot to land overall. But now moving on to the fourth drop spot, we have Retail Bro. You know, a classic since the first season of the game, and you know, it's always been here. It's always good, perfect for a solo, duo, or squad. It will be contested sometimes, but the loot here pays off really. And you know, rotation is now almost everywhere on the map, meaning you can easily rotate out of retail. And you know, here I'll display the loot paths and the loot drops for retail. And yeah, it's just an overall really good spot to land still to this day. And I would 100% recommend coming here in arena as a trio or as a solo. And yeah, it's just a really good drop. And if you can handle the heat, it's honestly really worth it, not gonna lie. Now moving on to the fifth spot, we do have the Craggy Heavy Snipe House. Of course, it's not a heavy snipe here or henchman anymore, but really good for a solo drop. Of course, you can come down the hill, grab yourself some mats and metal, and you know, rotate to the Craggy or like the sunken Craggy cliffs, and you know, grab yourself whatever you can from there really. And go to the new destroyed yacht, and you know, it's a little bit different from the new old yacht, but you know, grab yourself a little bit of loot there as well. You know, there's another chopper if you need it, if yours breaks or you get shot at. And you know, this is a perfect loot route and a perfect loot drop for a solo playing competitive in this day and age. So yeah. And now moving on to the sixth landing spot, we do have a classic from the first Chapter 2 season. This is Steamy Stacks, everyone, and you know, this is again really good for rotation since most of it is now water and there's boats everywhere. You know, the vents do bring you up and do make you glide, so that's another perfect thing about it. You know, some things are underwater though, so you're not going to get maxed out loot. You're probably not going to be able to pull off a reboot or anything, which kind of sucks, but nonetheless, the loot here is still amazing, and the loot path is still great too. I mean, you can always go into the actual stack of Steamy Stacks, glide up, and you know, glide right on over to the slurp truck, and you know, then go over to the orchard, pick off any last kills or loot, and you know, it's just a perfect spot for a solo or a trio. Now moving on to the seventh drop spot, we actually have the flopper / fish pond right outside of where Grotto used to be. You know, this is a very good drop for a solo. I don't know about a trio, but definitely for a solo. You know, there's one house, there's a shack, another shack. You can easily fish out fish, and the loot path here is just absolutely amazing. You can easily just go down the river and you know, make it straight over to the gas station, like right there. And you know, just grab the loot from there, even go down shore and go down river even more, and you'll make it over to Frenzy where you'll probably see some kids to pick off for loot. And yeah, just an amazing loot path, and it's just perfect for a solo, not too contested and just right. Now moving on to the 8th drop spot, this is going to be Rickety Rig. This used to be the rig, but now it's kind of like split up into like islands, like 3 groups of islands, which makes it exactly perfect for trios. You know, each trio partner gets like a group of islands. Really perfect for arena or even a solo, just trying to get stacked loadout. You know, lots of rotation here, lots of loot here. It's just a really good spot. It is a bit contested, but if you're ready for the heat, it's going to be worth it 100%, because you're going to be coming out of here with some god tier loot. This is a really good spot to land for a trio and even a solo. You know, it's just a really good spot. Each like group of islands has an individual big building with just tons of loot inside, and it's just a really good drop spot for anyone. And I would recommend coming here, but again, it will be contested. So if you're ready for that and you can handle it, by all means, go for it. This is a good drop. Now moving on to the drop spot number 9, the 9th drop spot. This is going to be Pleasant Park. Now Pleasant Park is just a perfect spot to land. You know, ever since season 3, there's a lot of water now, so there's a lot of boats, a lot of crash pads, a lot of mobility and easy rotation to get to the next zone. You know, the soccer field has been upgraded. It has a lot more loot now. Yes, there's no more chopper here, but hey, the mobility is just insane here. You can easily get boats. And, you know, the houses are the same, but the loot has been upgraded a little bit. And that little bit is just enough for a trio to pop off and get all the loot they need for the stacked end game or game in general. This is a really good spot to land now. Trust me, in the future of this season, it will just be the perfect spot to land as a trio. If you can handle the heat, please come here, because this is a really good drop for you and your trio, and I highly recommend it. Now moving on to the last drop spot. This is going to be drop spot number 10, my favorite one of all. This is going to be the one right outside of Misty Meadows. Now this is where Henchman used to be and a Heavy Sniper used to be. It was like the house, but now it's just kind of like weird. It's just like a small house, kind of like a racing place with a boat. It's really weird, but there's a lot of loot for a solo, and it's a really good drop overall. There's a lot of mobility, a lot of boats, a lot of places to fish, and sharks in the water from time to time, which is easy rotations to the next zone. And if you're landing here as a trio, one can land here, get some nice loot, and one can key Misty Meadows. This is a really good drop, probably one of the best by far in this season. And yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, remember all the socials down in the description down below. And yep, we'll see you next time.
Shawty got me on repeat. I was the nigga, I'm chillin' in 2s, and they had the calls, they put up with folk. They wasn't with me, they wasn't rockin' with niggas, they wasn't on rockin' before. I had to really go turn up for niggas that's hating on me, now they asking for more. They wasn't with me and now they want.
Hey, I'm a good boy, I don't hit no licks, yeah. I'm a bad boy, flexing with some chicks, yeah.